What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and forgive me, but I am still in like a state of utter disbelief. I did not think for 1 second that we would be getting this news today. Just yesterday or the day before, law enforcement was talking about suspending the search for Quinton Simon once again, but now we know that Leilani Simon has been charged with Quinton Simon's murder. She has been arrested, and I don't want to use the word excited because I don't think that necessarily properly describes how I feel right now. But I mean, I almost fell out of my chair. I jumped straight up as soon as I saw the news. And like I said, it just caught me totally off guard. Of course, we knew that hopefully, one day this day would come when they would find some sign of Quinton. We already prepared ourselves over the last month that this would be the outcome. I don't think any of us expected them to find Quinton alive. So, I mean, even though this is news that will make you emotional, it's something that you had time to prepare for. And in this moment, I am just happy that Quinton's going to get justice. And the person who did this to Quinton is going to be held accountable. But when I reported that news to you all in my last video that Leilani Simon had been arrested, I didn't know at the time if they found Quinton or they didn't find Quinton. All I know is that they had these charges and they just got done arresting Leilani. Well, now they had a little press conference, and turns out that Quinton Simon's remains have been found, or at least a partial amounts of Quinton Simon's remains have been found, and they were found on Friday. Today is Monday. I'm not sure when you're going to be watching this video, but that means law enforcement sat on this news over the weekend. I know they sent off the bones to be tested, and I can tell you right now that it seems like they were just as, thirsty and ready to arrest Leilani as the people who've been outside of her house screaming for weeks on end. But, I could tell you in so many words what's going on here. I want to give you all a snippet of this press conference so you can hear from the horse's mouth, and get a better idea as to what is going on in this crazy situation. So let's go ahead and roll that clip, and then I'll be right back with my thoughts.
On Friday, our search teams at the Waste Management Landfill found what they believed were human remains. This afternoon, the FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia confirmed that they are, in fact, human remains. Additional testing, including a DNA analysis, is being conducted, and we have every reason to believe that this will confirm the remains are Quinton's. This is a heartbreaking development for everyone who loved Quinton, for the many people who came to know him after his disappearance, and for our department. When we first received the call that Quinton was missing, we were hopeful that we would find him alive and unharmed. But as we have been telling you for weeks, all of our evidence pointed to his mother being responsible for his death and disappearance, and his remains being found in the landfill. I would like to thank the many people and agencies who worked hard to ensure that Quinton was found, that he would have a proper resting place, and that justice would be served. First and foremost, I want to thank the FBI. We are incredibly grateful for their invaluable assistance. Their expertise, their manpower, resources, and guidance are unmatched and were crucial in our efforts to find Quinton. They were on the scene within 3 hours of Quinton being reported missing and have assisted with every aspect of this investigation. The resources they poured into the landfill search are extraordinary and are the reason that we were able to find Quinton. I can't thank them enough. Chatham County Police Department's Criminal Investigation Division also deserves special recognition. Their devotion to Quinton, to making sure this crime did not go unsolved, is an example of police work at its finest. Our detectives worked tirelessly and were determined to follow every lead and uncover every piece of evidence in this case. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Chatham County Sheriff's Office, and Department of Natural Resources all had officers searching the landfill alongside our officers in the FBI. The support of the Chatham County Emergency Management Agency, Chatham Emergency Services, Chatham Occupational Safety and Health, Savannah Police, and Savannah Fire also were invaluable in this massive effort. Finally, I would like to thank the many people who showed their support for our department during this incredibly difficult and important investigation. We appreciate those who kept faith in the system and waited patiently for evidence we needed to make sure Quinton has every opportunity to receive the justice he deserves. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to Will Clark, who has some comments from the FBI.
Good evening. My name is Will Clark. I'm the Senior Supervisory Resident Agent of the Savannah and Brunswick offices of the FBI. 1 month ago, we began this landfill search alongside Chatham County Police Department with one purpose in mind, and that was to find Quinton and to bring him home. On Friday, search crews from the FBI and Chatham County found what we preliminarily believe are partial remains from a human child. Those bones were immediately sent to our lab in Quantico, Virginia. Additional testing for potential confirmation is now underway. It could be days before we have final results. What happened to this 20-month-old child is unthinkable. No child should be harmed by anyone, let alone the person in their lives that should be their protector. This investigation does not end here. There is more work to do. The FBI, along with our law enforcement partners, will continue to find justice for Quinton. Thank you.
It's crazy. It was like just when I was starting to lose hope, and the timing of this, it couldn't come at a better time. Don't get me wrong. This isn't news that we ever want to get. You know what I mean? But in this situation, this is good news. It's like it's good news, but it's bad news at the same time. But I mean, they could have been out there for Lord knows how long searching for some sign of Quinton. And for this to happen right before the holidays, so people, can go into the holidays without this weighing on their heart. I don't want to be sitting down at Thanksgiving dinner thinking about the fact that there are people still out here searching for Quinton in a trash dump. So I think it came at a good time. And I'm glad that this doesn't have to stretch out any longer. Now, the situation isn't over. You heard what he had to say. The investigation isn't over. And I don't know if the landfill search is technically over yet or not. I know that they just announced that they were taking a week off. But, they announced that knowing that they had already found whatever they found on Friday. So I'm thinking they may continue searching to see if they can find more evidence or more of Quinton's remains. I'm not so sure. We will have to figure that out. And when I do find out about that, I will report it here on this channel. But the investigation, it's not over. There's still things that they have to figure out. But he did state that they think this will be the only arrest. So I don't think they're looking at Leilani's boyfriend. I don't think they're looking at Billy Joe. I think they got who they wanted. And I think they got who is responsible for Quinton's death. Now, I know people feel some type of way about certain people, and I understand that. But right now, the focus should be on Leilani. And like I said, I'm almost at a loss for words in this moment because the realization is still kicking in. And I just did not expect this news at all. Because we just got the news about them shutting down the search again for the holidays. And, it just felt like we weren't going to be getting any updates in this case. And, for a while, for weeks on end, it was like every day there was something going on. But over the past week or so, it's gotten really quiet. And I just got done telling you all that this was the calm before the storm. And luckily, I don't think things are going to get too crazy. But now, now they got Leilani. So now we have to see where things go from here. But all in all, I am grateful. I am extremely grateful that they found some of Quinton's remains. I am extremely grateful that Leilani is behind bars. And like I said, I think it couldn't have happened at a better time. I think this takes the weight off of a lot of people's shoulders. And you have to understand, I mean, I understand this is a difficult time for the family, but this time was going to come one way or the other. You know what I mean? And for everyone who's been following this case, you could rest a little better now going into the holidays. To everyone who's been working this case, imagine the people who have been out there for a month digging through non-stop garbage looking for the remains of a toddler. Imagine what that does to you psychologically. And for them to be able to sit down, even if they don't celebrate or whatever, for them to be able to maybe have some family time or some time off, knowing that they got their job accomplished. I'm not sure if they're finished with their job yet, but they got the job done. And I'm telling you right now, I was getting so discouraged because I don't say everything on videos, but behind the scenes, I was looking into like the probabilities of finding someone, someone's remains in a landfill. And man, the odds, let's just say the odds were stacked against law enforcement, for sure. And they went out there and did the impossible. They went out there and found a needle in a haystack, like even harder than that. But yeah, I'm expecting to get some more developments in this case over the next couple of days. We're going to go over Leilani's charges in the next video. And, there's so much more to still touch on in this case. But for now, I am glad that we can rest assured that they have found Quinton, or they have found some of Quinton's remains. So that is definitely, I guess, the best news that we could have gotten out of this case. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I will talk to you all in the next video.